Depending on what sources you read, there is a shortfall of between 250,000 and 320,000 properties in the housing market. And whenever there is a shortfall for anything, people generally queue up and they buy. Very rarely when demand is up do people quibble about the price, they just buy. And when demand is high, price pressure is low and prices then start to go up. Now, as we know, property prices are currently up and retiring landlords are taking advantage of the whole situation by putting their properties and their portfolios up for sale. So people can't find anywhere to rent now either. Now, it's not just the lack of affordable homes that's causing problems, it's also the lack of available rental property for people to be able to live in. Now, why do property millionaires know and use this insight? Where there's a strong demand, property prices and rentals go up, and property voids and vacancies are always low. Landlords can pick the best tenants and then have low arrears, and therefore profits remain good, reliable and healthy. Now, if you want to be part of the solution and provide more homes to people and help be part of the renting crisis solution, then you can learn more about how you can help your income too by providing homes for others. Now, you can download a free copy of my book, which I'm going to put a link in the description on this video. So hi everyone, I'm Gannon, and I help part-time property investors to find ways to scale and grow a small or even large property portfolio so they can earn income from property without running out of cash, with very little time, or even with very little funds. Now, we do this via our unique Raising the Bar method that helps you become a new era property millionaire. Now, I've been in property for decades, and because of my experience, I've kissed enough frogs to know what works and what doesn't. But more importantly, I've learned the signs and the signals about how to adapt and when the time comes to change a strategy, and that staying the same and doing nothing is risking any previously achieved success. Now, because I am constantly investing in property and I always ensure that I'm up to date with property markets every single day and everything about what's happening in the property market, and of course, because I run my own property management software company, then I am uniquely positioned to give you the very best methods that are working right now. Now, I called my company New Era, and it's important to reflect on where you are, but always moving forwards towards where you want to be and what the next era is in your business. So what is the demand that is pushing up prices? The silent housing crisis is about the lack of homes to rent and not just to buy. There's a lot of talk about how landlords are buying up stock in local areas that local homeowners could buy, and this apparently is pushing up prices. But this isn't the true problem. The truth is a little bit more complex than this. Now, conservative governments believe that home ownership is good for the economy. They also believe that people can't be secure in retirement without owning their own homes, and they think that that is also really important. Now, the government is pushing home ownership schemes, and more people are out there now trying to buy homes, but not everyone can afford to do so. And that still leaves a really big underserved rental market. A lot of savers in the UK would agree, and buy several properties to provide for retirement care and needs is a good idea. Buy-to-let property investors don't have any great desire to be landlords and to deal with all the practical difficulties associated with acquiring and managing rental property. Most landlords are actually eyeing up their pension pot and believe that property is their only realistic investment option. The problem is that landlords are selling up, retiring and maybe exiting the market. Why? Well, because a lot of landlords entered the market about 20 years ago and they're now reaching their retirement age and cashing in on the current property values. Now, there is a lack of stock available to rent, And as a result, this is pushing up rental prices as people compete for a limited number of houses. Home ownership is notoriously poor at utilising all of the bedroom and spare room space within a house. And there are stark differences in average floor area space per person for owner-occupied homes, seeing floor areas from 34 metres squared per person in '96 to just over 40 metres in 2017. But meanwhile, private renters saw a decrease in floor areas per person from 31 metres squared to 25. Now, homeowners have got more space and renters, it seems, have got less. As the population ages, we see more and more family homes occupied by widows and widowers. Single people or married couples with children who've since left home have craved space in the home, and spending more and more time working from home, the need for space has driven more homeowners to seek even bigger properties. Now, they don't need all of that space, but occupy and almost block the market from accessing the larger property homes. Stamp duty land tax is a cost of home moving and the purchase, and it would be interesting to see perhaps how a refund could help downsizing retirees put stock back into the market and increase the space and the rental stock. But as home ownership pays in capital growth, very often homeowners consider owning their home as an investment. So with government creating home ownership schemes and actively being encouraged to buy, more stock is disappearing from the rental market. And it's rather like the problem with ambulances not meeting their targets to get patients into hospitals in time. The problem is not in the ambulance teams. If the hospital is full and has got no spare beds, then the A&E department gets full and they can't admit new patients into the hospital, and the A&E department then can't take ambulance patients, and then the ambulances are queuing up outside of the hospital instead of being on the road attending to sick people. Large homes aren't available to families. The families then compete on price for scantily available stock. The families then can't afford to move out of their home, and smaller homes are then often over-occupied. And the desire to move to larger homes grows, and then property prices increase as more people fight to buy the few price properties that are within their reach. Landlords sell up for lots of reasons, but mainly at the moment because prices are great and there are no cheaper, smaller homes then for renters to move into. There are a number of things that can be done to address this problem. We as professional property investors can learn how to grow a portfolio and scale to address the issue. Now, firstly, we need to encourage more landlords to enter the market and invest in rental properties. Secondly, we need to make it easier for landlords to be able to manage their properties by showing them ways to work in their property portfolios without worrying about all of the paperwork and all of the legislation and all of the compliance. And I've got just the system that can help you with that. Now, as a professional property investor, you can play a part in solving this problem by learning how to grow your own portfolio and to invest in rental properties. You can also help by encouraging more people to enter the market and invest in rental properties with you. Now, additionally, you can work with other people's money and use perhaps investors' funds to directly invest into your property deals, and then tell them how they are then becoming part of the solution to help creating homes for people. Now, whilst they're getting a great return on this money at the same time. Now, I talk about this in my book called 45 Ways to Buy Property. Now, you can have a look at that. It's free. The link is in the description of this video. Now, the housing crisis in the UK is a problem that affects everyone. It's caused by a growing population, older homeowners who live alone and take up much more space than they need, and as well as the lack of new rental properties coming onto the market. And of course, we're not building enough new homes. And it's all about demand. The government has been trying to help, but simply everything that they've done so far isn't enough. So investors like you and I can play an integral role in solving this issue by investing with others or using other people's money for property purchases. So if you'd like to find more about property, then please do click on the link in the bio, and that will get you a download to my book called 45 Ways to Buy Property. And this will teach you everything you need to know about how professional property investors are making good money whilst helping solve one of the biggest society's issues today, which of course is homelessness. Now, if any of these ideas interest you, then I am here to help. Don't forget to follow me here on this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so you can join me on my next video and learn more about property insights and how you can become a property millionaire.